Successful.
But here, one guy was actually AFK, and now it's just a two of us fighting. I forgot my observer drone a while ago. I should have placed it earlier. Here, I start getting Archons because I see the enemy is like Bio. I'm fighting against Terran with Banshees. So I have a good mix of Archons, 3 Phoenixes for the Banshee, an Observer for the Abyss, and 1 Sentry. So that I get the damage reduction, even if it's just a small amount. Look at this, I'm also fighting against like Disciples, so Bio Archons are really good. Archon front line. And then the next wave is also Bio Zergs. So it's like Archon is definitely the right choice here. But I'll pull out a pro gamer move, and that is Dark Templars. Seeing as they have no vision, I want to exploit that thing for myself. And there's already a couple of units to distract them. So I went with Dark Templar to get some damage in extra. And they realize it, and they scan. And that's minus 25 mineral, and I take that advantage. I'll take it. Each scan is minus 25. So as long as I'm not building any detection, I'm gonna keep putting more Dark Templars. And there's also an option to upgrade them to Archons. So that's the thinking behind why I went for Dark Templars instead of more Archons in this case. Because Dark Templars do normal damage to everything, I think. So there's no weakens. But it also has high base damage. Even though we're losing really hard here, I only have 1 gas. And they're already on our side, and they broke 1 tower. I keep putting more Dark Templars. You can see the Dark Templars do the work. Even if they scan, it's alright. That's minus 25 mineral again. So they just basically lose their gold bonus from the middle. If they scan. Minus 25 per click. Instead of getting a freaking detection. So it's always worth it. So I see a couple of Void Rays here. So I might add some of my Void Rays. Also some Stalker. So Stalker does extra damage to armored flying. So they're perfect against Void Rays. So I think I opted for more Stalkers instead. But I'm almost done with the There we go. There's the Stalkers. I'm done with my Dark Templars. I think those are enough. And that's another Scun. That's 75 minerals in total. And it just keeps going, right? It's already worth it. Because I could just upgrade into Archons. If they have to keep constantly scanning like that, they're losing their mineral advantage from holding middle. And my composition is pretty good too. Like this. Few Dark Templars, Zealot. This has no detection whatsoever. So I just fucking own his like melee and range units. His backline. Dark Templar is just hitting free, and they also have Blink, so they could go in immediately. So here you just find there's a lot of Void Rays, so I definitely need some more Stalkers to deal with those Void Rays. And I also upgraded my weapons to 1, because I'm starting to get a bunch of units, and there's only 2 of us, so I get more of my units. And there's a chance that they stack, right? So I want those upgrades. And here they're all bio. Sure, they have protection now, but my Archon still demolishes them. I have a better comp. I also have a sentry. That single sentry is such a good fucking thing, right? Because it's providing me that damage barrier, like 6 damage. It's just so good. Yeah. Now it looks like we're pushing a bit, and I saw a slight ray of hope. That's how we were pushing them, because we now had the mineral advantage. Means we're taking back money we lost them for ourselves from holding middle. With stalkers are really good, but they're easily countered by a couple of anti-armor, like tanks, void rays. I mean, void rays is deleted because they're armored, right? So, like, just tanks basically will delete them. Stalkers are good, for sure, but just not enough. Tanks will always, I think, outmatch them. So I have enough stalkers too. I saw his my friend here, or my teammate doing stalkers, and now since I'm seeing a bit of the enemy armor, I don't have much to counter their armor. I start building immortals because I see a brutalisk right here, an ultralisk. So I need a bit of immortals. They're good frontline tanks too, because they have this barrier. Good meat shields, so that my stalkers can keep DPS. I also had like 2 void rays the entire game to help with the armor too. But honestly, I don't really need it. I needed more Archons still. They had detections now, so I started upgrading all my Templars into fucking Archons. Rock Leaker was defeated, and that's where the AFK guy realized he was playing a game. He was stabbed out. Now that he came back, he left because it was detected as AFK. Now we're losing middle again, because the enemy's stacking units, and they also have tanks, but the tanks are getting stacked, and that's why. I also upgraded my weapons here to do more damage. Look at this Archon, dude, 26 kills. 27. Archon is like a lot of kills this game. Those Ultralists will definitely melt against Void Rays too. So they're really good. Just having a few Void Rays, like 2. And then there goes my second teammate. He gave up. Because he knows we're getting pushed. And like, there's stacked tanks. But then I realized, oh, I'm gonna need more immortals, because they have stacked tanks to melt their front quicker. And then my Phoenix goes with the Medivacs. Yeah. Takes light work, Liberators, everything. And also with the help Stalkers, they take him out. Makes mix of Phoenix, Void Rings. Here they're still pushing me out. My line's holding. I have a pretty good comp now. Mix of Archon, Immortal, Stalker, and then a few Zealots and Sentry, and a single Sentry. The second Sentry is actually huge here. The second Sentry one was huge. Just covered my entire army. I had a solid line. There's the second Sentry. It has so much value. Should have added it sooner. Now they're pushing me all the way near. Okay, his tanks expired because they've been there for so long. Look, the second Sentry is so worth. Even though it dies early, it's fine. He said it covered a bit of damage, like 6 damage per projectile. So it was still worth it, or something. And now here my Nexus takes a lot of damage here. Shield's almost entirely gone. Now, because of that, their entire stack is deleted. Now I'm fighting against another Protoss, but he has multiple Sentries and Void Rays. And my Stalkers do extra damage to armor, meaning I'll probably win this fight. Even if I don't, I'm gonna start stacking my units, because my units are closer. And Stalkers will always definitely stack because they always blink. They are fucking perfect micro. That's the best part about playing Protoss with blinks here. They have perfect godly micro on Stalkers. As soon as their shields run out, they blink out. And then I go for a second tractor here, which is kind of greedy. But I'm definitely pushing back now with a proper comp. A better comp definitely beats any other comp. His front line just keeps getting melted before the tanks can do any damage. And here we go, second wave, and then as soon as my units get low, this guy actually has no damage. That's why he's losing. Especially Stalkers against Void Rays, they're a poor matchup, especially in this game mode, because they just keep blinking and they keep resetting the damage build up, right? So, it is definitely not good for them. Stalkers are really good in this direct strike. And now I'm stacking a bunch of units. While some of them are dying, that's fine, because eventually they'll expire anyway. Like, there are some of those units expired, teleported. For the most part, I have a pretty solid front line. Some Stalkers tanking the shots, meat shield. Mortals doing the DPS. Archons also helping. Phoenixes lifting tanks. Yeah. Now, I have taken control of the middle. Started to upgrade my units too. Mortals doing armor duty. The armor. Archons doing anti-bio against, especially against this fucking Zerg. It just fucking melts. The Archons just melt all of his units because it's all bio. All biological units. They just melt against Archons. Archons the ultimate counter to Zergs. Just give them an Archon and boom. Archon Immortal, even Ultralisk will have a hard time. There we go. I teched up actually, and I also teched up, so now I'm T3. I destroyed the tower, I teched up T3, and now I'm starting to get Colossus in for more damage. They're getting carriers for endgame. Some of those pullers, impalers, horrors. I'm gonna pull my front line. That's actually bad for him because Archons are really good. What he wants to do is control those Archons and use it against me. But now I have another solid. Yeah, he wants infestors against me. That's for sure. They control my units. They're expensive. Right? That's what he needed. Infestors are a great counter against Protoss. Not like it's counterable. So here I'm pushing up all the way to the main base, but eventually my units die down because they start stacking tanks, Void Rays, Carriers, Tempest. Meanwhile, I only have Colossus. My objective here was done though, because I got a turret. I made progress. Those Infestors are definitely doing good for him. Getting my Archons. Now my front line is just melting. I actually add Tempest here. So now I have an anti-stack and also stacking mechanic. As you can see, they start having a lot of carriers. And also Tempest and Broodlings. Broodlords. So Tempest is the perfect counter for those. It has extra damage to massive units, and those things are massive. A single sentry, or like double sentry in my entire comp right there. Absorbing everything. You don't need more than 2. Maybe you can. But look, my front line is sturdy enough that the entire sentry duration will last long enough. Even with just 2. And it covers my entire army. Now I have 2 Tempests. I get a third one. So I stack even harder.
Easy, like.
Though they're getting cold, it's fine, it's fine. Even if they're getting cold, at least they're stacking. I held the midline for a bit. Now I get even more Colossus.
I can't believe the asshole took the fucking bag.
And then
yeah.
I'm gonna go for unit upgrades. I'm actually maxed out on all my units. It's 3 key upgrades on everything.
Yeah, my fucking drone showed.
Here they try to start to take control of the middle a little bit more. So I add more Colossi to melt their front line. Because they're gonna be forming a huge line on this wave. The way they're pushing right now. Now I lose the mid line. Pushing towards me. You have a lot of air and massive tier 3 units. I also have Colossi.
Together, we thank.
Counter them. Then I add regular Templar. Literally, because I see them stack. AoE will be really good against them. And they also have energy units like Festers. So I want those Templar. And you'll see those Psionic Storm getting value. And even the feedback alone is all good enough. Those Infestors can't steal my Archons, it would be fun. And now there are some Hyperions. Upgrade my air weaponry so that my Tempest can deal with those carriers in the front. All my frontline holds. My meat shield. Archons are basically my meat shield here. And then I get a second Templar. Now they're almost at my Nexus. Now my Nexus is doing damage, helping me clear those enemy. And now I start backing units. My front line barely holding till the next wave arrives. They're barely holding just enough for my next wave to arrive. And my Nexus doing DPS. And this is where I start stacking. This Berserk is full bio, so I just counter him so hard. But he's taking control of my offense. Just supposed to counter. The feedbacks come in. Those Infestors with no mana, with Victors, no mana or Booker. I don't know what they're called, not sure. Don't play here.
Yeah, true though. Damn, I can't believe I just seen a live execution.
I add more Colossi, a little bit of positioning, and now I have deleted their stacked wave.
Oh.
Now I'm stacking my own units, which is really good. I'm starting to stack Protoss and Colossus. I have 4 Colossus. And here I start getting more upgrades. Just get more upgrades because we're starting to stack, especially air. Look at all those temples in the back. So I stack those damage so I don't lose the stacked wave. This is my only chance to combat and win. And then the next wave, the front line still holds. I have enough frontline tanks.
You said you want to do lab run?
So that my next wave arrives in time.
I'm always down for lab
the
run.
stacking.
I can. It's not like I don't.
I have so much ranged DPS to stack my thing.
Oh my god.
Even the Colossi too, they're line DPS.
I don't really care. I'll just do it for fun. I don't
They
really
have good HP.
Lab.
And here I realize I have a
red.
problem. The air forces are not moving
Fine.
enough for my ground. But that's not a good thing. You always want to be together as a group when you're moving.
Yeah,
units.
I
You don't
just
wanna
like bought
someone to get
my
ahead.
stash
So
tree,
in
so
order to
I have
fix
no
that,
money again.
started thinking. I build
I just
carriers,
supposed to go one of my lab runs, so.
and
Oh,
that
I'm
is
too
when
lazy to play for money.
I get more airborne clear, air DPS, and more air presence. And they also stack too. Even if this fight drags for longer, my air
Wait,
premise
Wrong. What stage are you at?
be better
Punisher.
with those mini drones. They're
Why?
all purpose anyway.
You need PMCQ.
All those Tempest stacks,
of them.
I have really good
Short line or where?
odds right now.
Hmm?
My carry hasn't even arrived.
Anywhere.
By this time,
But have to use
I
the
think it's GG.
use
As soon
this
as I
armor.
saw this Terran fleet get
it's fine.
annihilated, I think,
Yeah, well, labs
I
kill
see
him.
this
Damn, HK's what?
Labs.
easy one,
72.
GG, come back.
Labs are
There it is.
100k, but now it's
Like,
70.
if I use
late.
this body armor and I will just die in one hit.
I was very toxic here, but yeah. I was just so proud and happy, I didn't think I would win. I bet they'd be frustrated, because if you look, they literally have four fucking refineries. This guy has two, and this guy has two. Probably because of this guy is why they lost, and that was the last one that I fought. It just got annihilated almost instantly. And yeah. So as you can see, they're 3-3 max upgrade air and land units. This guy has any upgrade whatsoever on his ground or range units. And then this guy also has no air upgrades. No armor plating, no anything. Well, he does have one armor and one shields. But his ground also has one only. And mine is like 3-3 upgrades. Makes a huge difference, right? Because if you look at this, 9 damage side blades versus what? 11? That's extra damage. And it definitely, if you're stacked like this, with all these Tempest stacked, 67 versus massive. 39 against not, as long as it's air, that's 39. And look at his air. 9 extra damage. But yeah, this was a really good comeback. Against ground, 52. Against ground, that's 40. That's 12 more DPS per unit. Especially their stuff like this. I get so much value out of it. Anyways, if you watched the entire video, I appreciate it. Thank you. And I just wanted to share this fight because I was really toxic at the end, but I was just really happy. I wonder how they would have felt losing a 1v3. That must have been frustrating on their side. Yes. I should have just said GG. Well played. If you were the people that I was fighting against, it's nothing personal. And I hope you guys had fun. Till next time. Bye bye.